So I was watching this actual lizard video today, and it's great. I gotta say, love this creator. Um, but there was one point on this fairness and reinforcements video that I disagree with, and I have this YouTube channel basically just to be the one place I can scream scream my Fire Emblem opinions into the void. So I want to address this one point about Fire Emblem Awakening Chapter 9, some ambush spawns that appear. Um, Basically, the gist is there are these reinforcements that spawn here in this pattern. You have your 3 with 1 range. I think these are the ones with 1 range. And these are the ones with 2 range. And they spawn here on turn 5. And they're foreshadowed on turn 3. And they are ambush spawns, as all the reinforcements are, I think, in Awakening. So they have 7 moves, so they cover this whole starting area. So they're well foreshadowed. It tells you exactly where they come from. And this is what actual Lizard was talking about when he was addressing this chapter, and how they have pretty decent ambush spawns. And I agree. I think as far as ambush spawns go, these ones are pretty good. I just want to be clear before I get into my point. I don't have a particular love for ambush spawns either, because I've been playing Fire Emblem Awakening on Lunatic for the first time, and this is how I play it with this always open, and it is so much fun to play this way. Like, I think playing it blind will make you hate Fire Emblem Awakening. But if you play it with this guide open, or any guide, it doesn't matter. The top ones have the short axe. It's such a different experience because it makes you think, man, since these are here, I have to play this so differently. So I'm getting ahead of myself a little. This was the one point he made that I want to disagree with.
I would still prefer these reinforcements if instead of being ambush spawns, they were regular reinforcements that just spawned 1 turn earlier. They would still serve the purpose of encouraging you to get moving, but then you would be guaranteed to have at least 1 turn to react to them when they spawn.
Yeah, so I disagree. The value of these reinforcements is not that they are enemies that are behind you, it's that they put this huge zone of death here that forces you. It doesn't just suggest, it forces you to be here around the time they arrive. And that means, because if they could spawn, there's nothing stopping you from sitting here. And you kill everything that's moving towards you, which I just believe is this chunk of enemies at first. And then they spawn, and okay, you've got Muriel with a Wind's Tome, Robin, maybe Virion, Chrom with Falchion, obviously. I don't remember if you have a Worm Slayer yet at this point, but you definitely could through bonus box or buying from a spot pass ally, which is fun. I do recommend doing that unless you're doing some kind of challenge run. It's the randomness and variety you get is very fun. Not spot pass, street pass. But anyway, the point is, these make a zone of death here, and also, the same turn these start appearing, all of these guys start to move. So what happens is, you're pincered immediately. Like, if in the world where these are not same turn reinforcements, what you've got here is you're encouraged to camp here at the start, kill everything that's rushing at you, then kill these guys when they spawn, and then a couple turns later these guys will arrive. Instead, the result you get is all of these guys are moving at the same time that all of these guys spawn. So you're forced to be here, and you're forced to tackle 2 groups at the same time. And this is the value of these ambush spawns, is that they force you to move. They don't just suggest like a non-same turn reinforcement does. They actually force you to come here. Otherwise, they will all get to move first and gang up on Lissa or whoever, or Gaius, and he's dead. Dead as hell. And not just, Libra is easy to save with, Chrom and Sumia paired up. This one archer is puny compared to them at this point. So, this is the one anti-turtle that's besides these ambush spawns, and this is... I'm not trying to take away from the map that this being easy is a problem or anything, because this is easy because it's one of several anti-turtles. You have these guys. And this is fun. This map is much more fun. It is improved by having this. So I think having these be regular reinforcements would be a net negative for the quality of this map. Now that's not to say that these are perfect, but I think I think they're as good as it gets in Fire Emblem Awakening, because this has like a very strong impact on the level design. The whole level revolves around, I have to get here by turn 5, and then I have to contend with 2 fronts, one with wyverns, which I have effective weapons for, and one that has a big variety of enemies, including one I really don't want to kill. Man, just look at her HP compared to everyone else's. Shout out to recruitable characters. Like when you play FE12, you can spot the recruitable character before even seeing their portrait because of the HP differences. That's not what I'm talking about in this video. So that's all I wanted to say, really. What I also want to say is that a really fun way to deal with these wyverns is the foreknowledge. Like, the foreknowledge problem is why playing with a guide is so much more fun. Because if you know these guys are coming on turn 5, you can chip away at their numbers on turn 5, at the end of turn 5 player phase. Like, you can have your Lissa with a Wind's Tome or whoever. Like, you can even have Virion in place to move to, like, exactly 9 spaces away from these guys so that he can counter the short axe ones. And then there are the one range ones that you want to counter with Crom, or someone with Crom as a backup, like Frederick. And you can even, because of the way they're formed, sometimes you can have 2 characters that are both effective, like basically team up with each other. Like, it'd be more effective if it was Fates and the attack stance was like guaranteed, but it gives you a chance for that. So that's cool, and that's something that I think the game would be so much better if it told you exactly what was going to spawn. Like, it had like an invisible outline over these spaces with the wyverns. You could check their stats and stuff, because it feels like the way it wants you to play is to get this far, die to the ambush spawns, and then look at their stats and write them down on a piece of paper. Like, okay, they spawned here, here, here. These guys had short axes, and these guys had the silver axes or whatever. Might have been steel axe at this point. I can't remember. But yeah, so like, I think these are fun. I think this is cool the way these contribute to the level design. Like ambush spawns that... So many people hate ambush spawns, but I think they contribute to the level design in a really interesting way sometimes. Another example I wanted to talk about was this one. This map from Fire Emblem 3. This is the Camus map. This is the one where a cavalier will spawn from each of these, and a horse rider will spawn for each of these. I might have the exact order wrong. But this was the first map I played where I was really like, man, this map would be so much worse if these weren't ambush spawns. Because these guys would be such a non-threat. Look at the critical path on this map. You have one group going here, maybe, like going through the forest to get to Camus faster and get to Lorenz with Sita. And you have obviously Marth and Co going this way. So this is the critical path. This is right on the critical path. Like, if you have like Jagan, or like a promoted, I guess not Jagan at this point in the game, probably, maybe, but like Cain or Abel trained, then you could easily get them like right here, like right in front of them, turn 1. These are right here. It is so easy to plug these. And you have to plug these because, or, you know, like box off someone and feed someone EXP that way. But like, otherwise, what's the point? These guys spawn, they're no threat. It's Fire Emblem 3, stats are pretty low. Like, if this was like Shadow Dragon Hard 5, that's a different story, I suppose. But yeah, I guess I don't really have a point beyond that. The forecasting of ambush spawns is the problem more than the ambush spawns themselves. Because if these were perfectly forecasted and you could see all the information about them and you could do everything except kill them, then I think the ambush spawns in like this chapter or any other chapter would be great. Would be much less maligned. The only ambush spawns that are awful are the warriors that spawn here with counter. As far as I've gotten, I haven't beaten the game yet. I'm on chapter 15, but these guys being warriors with counter is the worst. Like, even if you know an enemy is coming from here, because it's telegraphed, you know, it's the forts. These guaranteed have an ambush spawn. So you could have like Frederick here or something to try to block it off, and then he just kills himself on the warrior. Like, it's a real middle finger. That's a tangent. Really, I just wanted to talk about chapter 9. The one thing one takeaway, I've been rambling for a bit because I don't script my videos, is just that these would not at all, this map would be completely different and worse if these were not ambush spawns. The ambush spawns could be communicated better, but once you know them, like when you're playing with a guide, which is the like bootleg solution to this flaw in Fire Emblem Awakening, in my opinion, once you're playing this way, the game is vastly improved. And I know some people will think that like playing with a guide is inherently bad design, and I can't really argue with that. But because we can play this way, it's more fun, you know? Like, we're fixing the problem it has, you know? Like, it's not an unfixable problem, we just Google it. The problem is not with the level design, because the ambush spawns contribute to the level design. The problem is just that they're not communicated perfectly. You don't know, you know it's going to be flyers, you know where they're going to spawn, but you don't know, oh my god, some of them have a short axe, they're not going to spawn directly on the edge of the map, these ones are going to spawn here. So even if you count tiled, you think they're going to spawn like here maybe with 7 range, or 7 plus weapon range, 7 move, then you know, you count wrong. Very easy to count wrong, and then you get ganged up by 2 of these guys. I'm rambling too much. I think I've made my point. Yeah, so that's it. Bye, everybody.